Right now, at this very moment, you hold in your hands the most powerful force in the universe, the power to change your entire life through one single habit. What I'm about to share with you isn't complex. It isn't difficult, but it is profound, and it works with the certainty of mathematics. The most successful people I've studied and worked with over these many years all share this one habit. They didn't necessarily know they shared it at first, but when you look closely at their lives, it becomes crystal clear. This habit is so fundamental, so essential to success, that without it, all other success strategies falter. Every single morning, you have a choice. You can start your day by accident, or you can start it by design. Most people, 95% of them, start their day by accident. They react to whatever comes their way. But that remaining 5%, those who've built fortunes, who've changed industries, who've impacted millions of lives, they start their day by design. The habit I'm talking about is rising early, but not just rising early, rising with purpose. Now, before you think this is just another piece of common advice, understand that there's a science to this, a practical system that transforms this simple act into a catalyst for extraordinary achievement. I remember talking to a young man in Chicago who was struggling in his sales career. He was working hard, certainly, but his results were mediocre at best. When I shared this habit with him, he was skeptical. "Earl," he said, "I'm already working 12-hour days. How will waking up earlier help?" 6 months later, this same man had doubled his sales, not by working more hours, but by using those early morning hours to shape his mind and prepare for success. The early morning hours have a special quality to them. The world is quiet. Your mind is fresh. There's no one making demands on your time or attention. This is when you can think clearly, plan effectively, and prepare yourself for success. But it's not just about being awake, it's about what you do with this time that matters. The human mind is most receptive in the first hours after waking. This is when our subconscious mind, which has been processing information all night, is most open to new programming. This is when we can plant the seeds of success that will grow throughout the day. Let me tell you about Sarah, a single mother of two who worked as a nurse. She thought she had no time for herself, always rushing from one responsibility to another. But when she started waking up at 5 a.m., just 1 hour before her usual time, her life transformed. In that quiet hour, she found time to read, to plan, to think. Within 3 months, she had completed a certification that increased her salary by 30%. More importantly, she found herself more patient with her children, more organized at work, and more confident in her abilities. Scientists have studied the morning hours extensively. They've found that our cortisol levels are naturally highest in the morning, making us more alert and focused. Our willpower is strongest, our creative abilities are heightened, and our ability to form new habits is at its peak. This isn't just modern science, this wisdom dates back thousands of years. Benjamin Franklin understood this power. He structured his entire day around his morning routine, rising at 5 a.m. to plan his day and engage in what he called his morning question: what good shall I do this day? Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and countless other innovators and leaders throughout history have harnessed the power of early morning hours. But perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from a study of successful CEOs. Over 90% of them start their day before 6 a.m. They don't do this because they were told to. They do it because they've discovered what I'm sharing with you now. The morning hours hold special power. I think about John, a factory worker who dreamed of starting his own business. He used his morning hours to study business principles, create his business plan, and gradually build his side business. Today, he owns 3 successful manufacturing plants. He still rises early, using those quiet hours to think strategically about his business's future. Or consider Maria, a teacher who transformed not just her own life, but the lives of her students through her morning routine. She used her early hours to create innovative lesson plans, study advanced teaching methods, and prepare herself mentally for the day ahead. Her students' test scores improved dramatically, and she went on to become one of the most sought-after educational consultants in her state. These aren't isolated cases. I've seen this pattern repeated thousands of times across every profession, every age group, every circumstance. The morning hours hold a special power because they set the tone for your entire day. They give you control over your time before the world tries to control it for you. Think of your mind as a garden. The early morning hours are like tending to your garden before any weeds can take root. You're planting the seeds of success, watering them with knowledge and preparation, and ensuring they have the best possible chance to grow throughout the day. The power of these morning hours isn't just in what you do during them, it's in how they affect every other hour of your day. When you start your day with purpose and control, that sense of purpose and control tends to persist. When you begin with clarity and focus, that clarity and focus tend to remain. Consider this. Every thought you think, every word you say to yourself is programming your subconscious mind. When you start your day reactively, jumping out of bed at the last minute, rushing to get ready, starting your day in a state of stress, you're programming your mind for chaos and reaction rather than creation and control. But when you rise early and take control of those first precious hours, you're programming your mind for success. You're telling your subconscious mind, I am in control. I create my day. I create my life. And your subconscious mind listens, believes, and begins to create the circumstances that match your programming. Let me break down the specific components of this success habit into a practical system you can start using tomorrow morning. First, you need to decide the night before that you will rise early. This decision is crucial. Don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it to how you feel in the morning. Make the decision firmly with conviction the night before. Set your alarm for at least 1 hour earlier than you normally would. If you typically wake at 7:00, set your alarm for 6:00. This 1 hour will change your life. But here's the key. When that alarm goes off, you must get up immediately. No snooze button. No 5 more minutes. Remember, you're programming your subconscious mind. Every time you hit that snooze button, you're telling your mind that it's okay to quit on your commitments. The first 5 minutes after waking are critical. Stand up straight, take 3 deep breaths, and say out loud, "This is going to be the most productive day of my life." Your words have power, especially in these first moments of consciousness. Follow this with a glass of water. Your body has been without water for hours, and hydration activates your metabolism and mental clarity. Next, spend 15 minutes in physical movement. This doesn't need to be strenuous exercise. Simple stretching, walking in place, or basic calisthenics will do. The goal is to get your blood flowing and oxygen moving to your brain. Physical movement in the morning has been proven to increase mental alertness and emotional stability throughout the entire day. After this physical activation, spend the next 15 minutes in quiet contemplation. This isn't meditation in the traditional sense, though it can be if that works for you. This is time to sit quietly and think about your goals, your dreams, your plans for the day. Think about what you want to accomplish. See it clearly in your mind. Feel the emotions of having already achieved it. During this quiet time, use what I call the mental movie technique. Picture yourself going through your day, handling each task with excellence, speaking with confidence, making smart decisions. See yourself responding to challenges with calm and clarity. This mental rehearsal is powerful. It programs your subconscious mind for success before your day even begins. The next 15 minutes should be spent reading something inspirational or educational. This could be biography of a successful person, a book on personal development, or material related to your field. The key is that it must feed your mind with positive, constructive thoughts. Your mind is like a garden. What you plant in the morning will grow throughout the day. Following your reading, spend 15 minutes writing. Write your goals, write your plans, write your ideas. The act of writing crystallizes your thoughts and commits them more firmly to your subconscious mind. It also gives you a record of your progress and your ideas. I suggest keeping a success journal where you write three things: what you're grateful for, what you plan to accomplish today, and one big idea that could improve your life or work. The final 15 minutes of this hour should be spent planning your day in detail. Not rough planning, detailed planning. What will you accomplish? When will you do it? How will you do it? This level of detail eliminates uncertainty and creates clarity of purpose. Use what I call the priority power hour technique. List your three most important tasks for the day. These are the tasks that will move you closest to your goals. Plan to tackle these tasks first, before the day's distractions begin. Remember, what you do in the first hour after your morning routine often determines 90% of your day's productivity. Throughout this entire routine, maintain what I call success posture. Stand and sit straight, breathe deeply, and move with purpose. Your physiology affects your psychology. When you carry yourself like a success, you begin to think like a success, and eventually you become a success. Another crucial element is what I call the no input rule. During your morning routine, avoid checking emails, social media, or news. These inputs program your mind with other people's priorities and problems. This time is for you to program your own mind for success. Remember to keep a timer nearby. Time awareness is crucial. You don't want to spend too long on any one component of your routine. The goal is to move through each element with purpose and precision, creating a rhythm that your subconscious mind will come to expect and enjoy. This routine isn't just a series of activities, it's a sacred time for self-development and personal power. Each component builds upon the others, creating a compound effect that will transform your life. The physical movement energizes you for the mental work. The quiet contemplation prepares you for the reading and writing. The planning ensures all this preparation translates into actual results. I've seen this habit transform lives so consistently that it amazes me more people don't adopt it. But then I remember, most people choose the easy path. They choose comfort over growth. They choose reactive living over proactive living. The resistance you'll feel to this habit is natural. Your mind will come up with countless reasons why you can't do this. I'm not a morning person. I need my sleep. I have young children. I work late. These are all just excuses. And excuses are the nails used to build the house of failure. Let me tell you about Robert, an executive who told me all the reasons he couldn't wake up early. He had late meetings. He traveled frequently between time zones. He needed 8 hours of sleep. But when his company faced a crisis, he found himself naturally waking up at 5 a.m., worried about work. That's when he realized it wasn't about ability, it was about motivation. The first obstacle most people face is the physical resistance to waking up early. Your body will fight you. It will beg for more sleep. Here's the solution. Go to bed earlier. It's simple, but people overcomplicate it. If you need to wake up at 5 a.m. and you need 7 hours of sleep, you must be in bed by 10 p.m. No negotiations, no exceptions. To make this easier, create what I call a power down hour. Starting at 9 p.m., begin preparing for sleep. Turn off bright lights, avoid screens, and engage in calming activities. Your body will learn this routine and begin preparing for sleep automatically. The second major obstacle is mental resistance, the voice in your head that says, just 5 more minutes, when the alarm goes off. Here's how to overcome it. Place your alarm across the room. When it goes off, stand up immediately. Don't think about it. Thinking leads to negotiating, and negotiating leads to failure. Many people struggle with maintaining consistency. They'll do it for a few days, then miss a day, and use that as an excuse to quit entirely. This is what I call the perfection trap. The solution is to adopt the never miss twice rule. If you miss one day, fine, but never miss 2 days in a row. This keeps a temporary setback from becoming a permanent failure. Another common obstacle is family obligations. Parents often tell me they can't wake up early because their children's schedules don't allow it. But I remember Maria, a single mother of 3 who turned this obstacle into an advantage. She started waking up just 30 minutes before her children. Those 30 minutes of peace and preparation made her a better parent throughout the day. The key to building momentum is what I call the success stack. Start small, maybe just 15 minutes earlier than usual. Master that for a week, then add another 15 minutes, then another. Build gradually but consistently. Your body and mind will adapt more easily to gradual changes. Remember this crucial point. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Don't wait until you feel motivated to start this habit. Start the habit and the motivation will follow. The very act of taking control of your mornings will generate the energy and enthusiasm to continue. Many people fail because they try to change too many things at once. They decide to wake up early, start exercising, begin meditating, and read for an hour, all on day one. This is a recipe for failure. Instead, use what I call the one thing focus. Master waking up early first. Once that's solid, add the next component. The biggest mindset shift needed is understanding that this isn't just about morning hours, it's about life control. When you control your mornings, you control your days. When you control your days, you control your life. Think of momentum like a freight train. It takes enormous energy to get moving, but once it's moving, it's almost impossible to stop. The same is true with your morning routine. The first few days will be the hardest, but once you build momentum, the habit becomes almost effortless. Your success in this endeavor will come down to one simple truth. You must want your goals more than you want your comfort. The warm bed will always be tempting. The excuses will always be available. But your dreams, your goals, your better future, these must become more important than momentary comfort. The truth is, you can do this. You must do this if you want to achieve extraordinary success. And here's why. This habit creates a compound effect in your life. Each morning you rise early and follow this routine, you're making a deposit in your success account. These deposits compound over time, creating exponential results. Think about it this way. If you improve just 1% each day through this morning routine, over the course of a year, you'll be 365% better. That's not adding 1% each day, that's compounding it. The actual improvement is exponential. By the end of the year, you're not just 3 times better, you're operating at a level you couldn't even imagine when you started. Let me share with you the story of Michael, a small business owner I worked with. When he started his morning routine, he spent just 20 minutes each morning reading about business strategy. In the first month, he implemented one new idea that increased his profits by 5%. Not dramatic, you might think, but he kept at it. By the end of the year, he had implemented 52 new ideas. His business had grown by 147%. The compound effect works like this. Imagine you have two people. One hits the snooze button every morning, rushing to work, starting their day reactively. The other wakes up 1 hour earlier, following the success routine we've discussed. After one day, the difference might be small. After 1 week, you might notice a slight edge in the early riser's performance, but after 1 year, the difference is staggering. Let's put some numbers to this. If you spend just 1 hour each morning investing in yourself, reading, planning, thinking strategically, that's 365 hours per year. That's equivalent to 9 40-hour work weeks of pure self-improvement. 9 weeks. Imagine what you could learn, plan, and achieve with 9 extra weeks of focused self-improvement. Consider Jennifer, a real estate agent who started using her morning hours to study market trends and plan her client outreach. In the first month, she gained 1 extra client. But because she maintained this habit month after month, analyzing what worked and what didn't, her client base grew exponentially. After 18 months, she had quadrupled her income. Here's the mathematical reality. Small improvements compound dramatically over time. If you improve just 0.1% per day, a tiny amount, after 1 year you'll be 44% better. If you improve 0.3% per day, you'll be 110% better. The key is consistency. The power is in doing it every day, making those small deposits in your success account. A bank account that pays compound interest. If you invest 1,100 and get 10% interest annually, after 20 years you'll have 1,672.75. But if you add just 7-1 every day to that account, after 20 years you'll have 58,920.27. That's the power of compound growth combined with consistent small actions. This same principle applies to your morning routine. Every morning you invest in yourself is like making a deposit in your personal development account. These deposits compound over time, creating exponential growth in your skills, knowledge, and opportunities. I worked with a teacher who used her morning hours to create one new teaching strategy each week. In the first month, her students' test scores improved by 3%. Not impressive, but she kept at it. By the end of the year, her class had the highest improvement rate in the district, a 40% increase in test scores. The compound effect works in every area of life. Physical fitness? 20 minutes of exercise each morning might burn just 100 calories. That's nothing, right? But over a year, that's 36,500 calories, equivalent to 10.4 pounds of fat. Mental growth? Reading just 10 pages each morning equals 3,650 pages per year. That's about 18 books of life-changing knowledge. But here's what most people miss. The compound effect works in reverse, too. Every morning you don't invest in yourself, you're not just staying the same, you're falling behind. While others are growing exponentially, you're standing still. In today's competitive world, standing still is the same as moving backward. The beauty of compound growth is that it works silently, steadily, reliably. Like a bamboo tree that shows no visible growth for 4 years while developing its root system, then suddenly grows 90 feet in 6 weeks, your morning routine might seem to produce small results at first. But it's building a foundation for explosive growth. Remember this formula. Tiny actions GR1 consistency, GR1 time equal exponential results. Your morning routine is the perfect way to put this formula into action. Each component of the routine, the reading, the planning, the thinking, the physical movement compounds upon the others, creating a multiplier effect that transforms your life. Let me share with you exactly how to implement this life-changing habit step by step. Transformation starts with a clear plan, and I'm going to give you that plan right now. First, start with what I call the pre-preparation phase. Tonight, before you go to bed, lay out everything you'll need for your morning routine. Your clothes, your books, your journal, a glass of water by your bed, everything must be ready. This removes decision fatigue and eliminates excuses. Create what I call your success station, a specific place in your home where you'll conduct your morning routine. It might be a corner of your living room, a home office, or even your kitchen table. The location doesn't matter as much as the consistency. Your mind will associate this space with success and productivity. Tracking. You need a simple but effective way to monitor your progress. Create what I call a morning mastery log. Each day, record 3 things: your wake-up time, the activities you completed, and your energy level on a scale of 1,010. This data becomes invaluable for making adjustments to your routine. I remember working with a businessman who struggled with consistency until he started using this tracking system. After 2 weeks, he noticed he had more energy on days when he did his physical movement first. This simple observation led him to restructure his routine, dramatically improving his results. Here's your week-by-week implementation plan. Week 1. Focus solely on waking up at your target time. Don't worry about the full routine yet. Just get up when the alarm rings and stay up. Record your success rate. Week 2. Add the physical movement component. Remember, this doesn't need to be intense. Simple stretching or walking in place is fine. The goal is to get your blood flowing and your mind alert. Week 3. Incorporate the reading and writing elements. Start with just 10 minutes of each. As you build the habit, you can extend the time. Week 4. Add the planning component. Spend time mapping out your day in detail. Be specific about what you'll accomplish and when. For course correction, use what I call the weekly success review. Every Sunday evening, look at your morning mastery log. Ask yourself 3 questions. What worked particularly well this week? What challenges did I face? What one change would make the biggest improvement? If you find yourself struggling, don't change everything at once. Make one small adjustment at a time. Maybe you need to go to bed 15 minutes earlier. Maybe you need to move your success station to a quieter part of your house. Small tweaks can lead to big improvements. Use the accountability mirror technique. Each morning, look in the mirror and give yourself an honest report about your commitment to this routine. Are you giving it your all? Are you making excuses? This moment of truth each day keeps you honest with yourself. When you face setbacks, and you will face them, use what I call the reset rule. Don't wait for Monday to start again. Don't wait for next month. Reset immediately. The next morning is a new opportunity to succeed. Track your results beyond just the routine itself. Notice how your productivity increases. Notice how your energy levels change. Notice how your relationships improve. This evidence of progress becomes motivation for continuation. Create what I call success triggers, specific actions that signal to your brain it's time for your morning routine. It might be drinking that first glass of water, putting on your workout clothes, or sitting in your success station. These triggers become powerful habit-building tools. If you find your routine becoming stale, use the 30-day challenge method. Each month, add one new element to your routine. It might be 5 minutes of visualization, learning a new word each day, or practicing a new skill. This keeps your routine fresh and engaging. Remember to adjust your routine based on life circumstances. If you're traveling, have a modified version ready. If you're sick, have a minimal version you can still accomplish. The key is maintaining the habit, even if the specific actions need to change temporarily. Use technology wisely. Set 2 alarms, one for bedtime and one for waking. Use a simple timer during your routine to stay on track. But avoid checking emails or social media until your routine is complete. Finally, celebrate your victories. Each week you complete successfully is a win. Each month you maintain the habit is a triumph. These celebrations reinforce the positive nature of your new habit and strengthen your commitment to continue. When you establish this morning success habit, something remarkable happens. It begins to influence every other area of your life. This isn't just about being more productive, it's about transforming your entire existence. How water flows downstream. When you take control of your mornings, you're starting at the source. Everything that follows, your work, your relationships, your health, flows from this one decision to master your mornings. I've watched countless individuals discover that once they master their mornings, their entire day transforms. Take Peter, an accountant who struggled with anxiety. Once he established his morning routine, he found himself handling workplace stress with remarkable calm. Why? Because he started each day centered, focused, and prepared. Your relationships improve because you're no longer rushing, no longer operating from a place of stress and reaction. You have more patience with your children, more understanding with your spouse, more empathy for your colleagues. You're no longer running on empty, you're operating from a full tank. Your health improves naturally. When you wake early, you're more likely to eat a proper breakfast. You have time for exercise. You're less likely to rely on caffeine and sugar to get through the day. Your sleep quality improves because you're living in alignment with your body's natural rhythms. Financial decisions become clearer. Why? Because you're no longer making choices from a place of mental fog or emotional reactivity. You have time to think, to plan, to consider consequences. I've seen people transform their financial lives simply because they gave themselves time to think clearly about money each morning. But perhaps most importantly, this one habit becomes a foundation for building other positive habits. It's what I call the lighthouse effect. One strong beam of light showing the way for all other areas of life. Once you've mastered your mornings, you'll find yourself naturally drawn to other positive changes. Your increased energy leads to better food choices. Your improved focus leads to better work habits. Your heightened sense of control leads to better financial decisions. This is how lasting change happens, not through willpower or forced discipline, but through the natural evolution that comes from one keystone habit. Your morning routine becomes the anchor that holds all other positive changes in place. You'll find yourself naturally wanting to go to bed earlier, not because someone told you to, but because you value your morning routine so much. You'll find yourself naturally drinking more water, eating better foods, choosing healthier activities, all because you've created a foundation of self-respect through your morning habit. Think of your life as a book. By taking control of your mornings, you become the author rather than just a character. You're no longer simply reacting to what life writes on your pages. You're writing the story yourself, starting with the first moments of each day. The time will pass anyway. 1 year from now, you'll be 1 year older whether you develop this habit or not. The question is, will you be 1 year better? Will you be significantly closer to your goals? Will you be the person you want to become? The decision is yours, and the time to make that decision is now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. They never will be. The time is now. Success is not an accident. It's not a matter of luck. It's not about who you know or where you came from. Success is a matter of choice, specifically the choice to develop the habits that lead to success, and it starts with this one habit. Remember this, the habits you have right now are perfectly designed to give you the results you're currently getting. If you want different results, you need different habits. And this one habit, rising early and using that time purposefully, is the cornerstone of all success. Start tomorrow. Set your alarm 1 hour earlier. When it goes off, get up immediately. Spend that hour investing in yourself. Do this for 30 days, then 60, then 90. Watch how your life transforms. Watch how opportunities seem to multiply. Watch how problems that once seemed insurmountable become manageable. You have within you right now everything you need to succeed. You have the same 24 hours each day as every other person on earth. What you do with those hours, starting with the first one each day, will determine your success, your happiness, your future. The choice is yours. The time is now. Your future is waiting. Rise early, rise with purpose, and watch as success becomes not just a possibility, but an inevitability. Thank you, and remember, your success starts tomorrow morning.